Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranamuna Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandathami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipa Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamritaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Tobdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsasudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsacharuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Hari Om. Hari Om to everyone. A warm welcome to everyone to this 99th consecutive satsang. Chinmaya Mission Guyana has been doing satsang all across Guyana, from Crabwood Creek in Quarantine all the way to Bomaroon, Charity, and then beyond down the river. So the last set of 20 nights is happening here in West Coast, and this 108th night Jnana Yajna is all about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful scripture that you have in your tradition. It has 700 verses. And over these 108 nights, we've been seeing each one of the verses like that. So also I want to mention, I know out of only respect that our Panditji is calling me Swami, but Swami is a very, very significant title in our Sanatana Dharma. And as far as I know, there are only 3 Swamijis in all of Guyana. Only 3. To be a Swami, you have to be initiated by a formal ritual into monkhood or renunciation. Thereafter, you will wear orange clothes. And I am not a Swami. I am just a student and a teacher in Chinmaya Mission. But my guru is a Swami, Swami Prakashanandaji. And you'll get a chance to meet him. From Tuesday, he'll be doing satsang in West Coast. It's very important in our life to serve Swamis. They live for the rest of the world, and they have nothing to gain from anybody, and nobody has any reason to fear them. They only live to serve, and that's why they formally took the life of owning nothing, having no family, having no house, having nothing. If you give a Swamiji a donation, he don't have a bank account to put it in. If you give him a little extra food, he don't have a fridge to put it in. What he can hold in his pocket. And that too, the pocket might have hole. So they live by the grace of society. That is a sannyasi. And we'd only have a few in Guyana. Of course, we want to have more. And every grahasti, means householder, has to one day become a vanaprasthi. Means they have to live for the community, and then they have to one day take sannyas. That is what it is to be Hindu. So all of us one day will reach there, this lifetime or another. That should be the aim. All right. Now, where are we in Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, and we are in the last chapter. And last night we went so far as to get to verse 28. Tonight we pick up from verse 29. What is happening here? Lord Krishna is teaching Bhagavad Gita, not Lord Rama, not Ganeshji, not Mother Saraswati. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is teaching. And we call him Jagat Guru. He is come, and because he has given Bhagavad Gita, and because he lifted so many and he re-established Dharma, Lord Vishnu in that avatar, he gets the name Jagat Guru. He taught the whole world, and one way he did that was through this Bhagavad Gita. He taught Arjuna, who was a warrior. He didn't teach a monk. He didn't teach a disciple like you find in an ashram. He taught a disciple in the form of a warrior who has a job to do. And what he was teaching him was how to gain mukti, or freedom, as a result of doing your daily duties. And all about the essence of our tradition. Now, what is going on here? Let me tell you a little bit. Bhagavan is giving what you can call as life management. You've heard of stress management? You know what that is? Business management, you know? Water management. You know how to manage water? Finance management. In the house, somebody has to manage the finances, right? But have you ever heard of life management? How to manage your very life, your thoughts, your day-to-day energy, your time, and how you will spend all the years of your life. How to manage that. And so Bhagavan is teaching that, and it's such a perfect science with such detail, it's amazing. You'll not find such a great analysis anywhere in the world. For youth, you please pay close attention. You'll not have heard anything like this before, unless you have studied Bhagavad Gita before. Most amazing thing is about to come. What he just explained was how it is, why it is certain people are motivated to get up and do good things. Other people are motivated to get up and break up things. Like Kaikeyi was motivated to break up the family and put her son forward. Some people are motivated to put tariffs. Right? Like that. Why are they motivated? And some people are not motivated to do anything. They don't feel like, and they look at other people and they say, how do you have so much energy? I just want to sit here and scroll. So Bhagavan was explaining how to make yourself, how to arrange your thoughts and feelings such that you can be the best type. So what we saw is that a person's action is determined by their outlook on life. So if you wear rose-colored glasses, well, the life will look rosy. And if you wear dark, dreary sunshades, well, everything will look doom and gloom, like that. So that's what he described. Now we'll see it in more detail, but that long introduction I cannot do because tonight we have to see so much. So basic is like this. Bhagavan is teaching life management. And he's teaching how we get motivated to do what we have to do. He's taking your personality and he's breaking it up. Like, you know how in school you learn knee bone's connected to the thigh bone's connected to the hip bone, like that. Hip bone's connected to some other bone, and that's all the bones, like that. They teach you, right? So, you can tell I didn't do well in that class, right? Biology. Bhagavan is telling what the rishis how they have analyzed. Vision is connected to your value system. Your value system determines your quality of life. Like that, he's teaching. These forms of quality of life come in 3 ways. The best way is most noble. Nobility in life means this. And Bhagavan's teaching like that. So you can go inside and say, oh, do I have this outlook or that outlook? And this will lead to that. That's how he's teaching. So he's taught about vision. He's taught about attitude in work. He's taught about action. Best action, mediocre action, third-rate action. And now he's come to a wonderful topic, intelligence and fortitude. So let us see that, and we'll think a little bit about it more. So the way it goes now, I will chant the verse, and you will chant in chorus. You don't have the Sanskrit in front of you, so you get the wonderful chance to forget all your worries in life and just chant the name of Bhagavan. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Right? You chant in between. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Everyone.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Buddhir-bhedam driteshaiva gunatas-trividham shrinu.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Procyamanam asheshena pritatvena dhananjaya.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Bhagavan says, Hey Arjuna Dhananjaya. Oh Arjuna, who's conquered so much wealth, I'm going to give you something very valuable. You conquer this also. Some really important wisdom for your life. What is that? There is something called buddhi and there's something called dhriti. There's something called buddhi means understanding. The ability to translate your knowledge into life. It means the faculty of discrimination. Right? That capacity is there, and it is of 3 types. It is of a noble type, it is of a passionate type, and it is of a dull type. Or it is of the best, mediocre, and the worst. First rate, second rate, third rate. Like, and all things are like that. Are you a first rate student, second rate student, or third rate student? Do you have a first rate working vehicle, a second rate working vehicle, or a third rate working vehicle? Right? So all things have hierarchy now. So one's intellect and thinking capacity can be of 3 types. Now this is not just for Hindus. This is for everybody and anybody. Right? Also, your fortitude. Fortitude, you know what it means? It means patience. It means the ability to hold on to your purpose. Sometimes it's called perseverance, consistency of purpose, like that. I'm going to tell you about these two, Arjuna. Now, let us think a little bit about this. These two are essential, and it answers a big question why some people turn out to be great successes, and while other people, though they have all the knowledge as everybody else, they can't make anything of their life. Like that. Even if you have the best type of vision that was described just now in Bhagavad Gita, the best type of vision is where, when you look out at the world, first thing you see is the common ground between you and the other. You see that first. You identify with that first. That is the main thing, and then you think about all things after. The mediocre type of vision was when you see others, you see the difference. You see the difference. Oh, well, I better looking, he worse looking, I smarter, he less smart, whatever. He's so much superior, I so much inferior. If your mind goes to the difference first, well, then you have a very rajasic or mediocre vision. The best type of vision, oh, like he's a human being, I'm a human being. First and foremost. And everything else comes far second. There's another living being just like me, and in that way we're exact same. Everything else is less important, like that. When you travel abroad and you meet another Guyanese, you forget about all the differences, especially when everybody else around you is different. You're in Europe and you meet another Guyanese, and they happen to be from West Coast. Well, suddenly that becomes the main thing you identify with, isn't it? That you remember. And all the other things, when you're in Guyana, which village you from? Well, you're from that. You know, you make a difference. So the person who can see the common ground and identify with that, the rishis see the most fundamental aspect, that Bhagavan is in everybody. Now, when you learn this type of thing, you feel inspired. Wow, what a nice way of looking at the world. But how are you supposed to actually practice it? How do you make it real? How do you give it teeth? So that wherever you are, you can actually see that. That capacity is called buddhi in scriptures. This is the most, and it's everywhere. Companies will make a big mission statement. Wherever you work, you might have seen that. Or you walk into some office of the ministry of whatever, and they have to serve and protect is the mission statement for many police, right? To serve and protect. So they all know that. They put it on the car, they put it on the badge, they put it on their swag, everything, right? But does it actually come out in practice? The big job of all management executives is how to take the mission statement and get the ordinary person on the line to live out that mission statement. And not, because people come with their own mission statement. To serve and protect my bank account. It didn't say who. Okay, let us have another meeting. To serve and protect the nation. Like that. So how to make it come into my life? This is what buddhi does. It is there's a lot of shows that have taken this thing. One man went to the doctor, see. Doctor, properly educated, all the certificates on the wall. And he said, Doc, I'm not feeling well. Every morning I have a problem. Doc says, what is the problem? He says, when I get up, I'm very tired. At that moment, the doc was interested. You're very tired? Yeah, doc. Oh. Is it that when you wake up, you're also a little dizzy also? Yes, I also dizzy. Sometimes you feel to throw up when you wake up? Yes, that's exactly what I feel. What is it, doc? He said, no, I also have the same thing. I'm trying to find out. If the doc also, with all his knowledge, he cannot diagnose the problem, his knowledge is useless. But they have wonderful shows about doctors who are diagnosticians. They see, oh, look, he got a bruise, and that bruise took a long time to heal. And his mouth is also dry. And he fainted when he was playing soccer. That must mean such and such organ is not functioning right, and he doesn't have this vitamin. Like the doctor can take this piece of data and use all his knowledge and diagnose the problem. Because his intellect is sharp. Diagnostics is a big thing. Just having medical knowledge doesn't mean you can do anything with it. The practice of applying that knowledge requires great intelligence. Like that for all things. So, if we study the principles of scriptures well, you will be able to apply it. But it requires regular reflection again and again and again. That means to say, suppose you come to satsang and you hear about Lord Ram's greatness, or Lord Bhagavan Hanumanji's greatness. What you're supposed to do is say, okay, when I do X, Y, Z, which quality is that? When we spray the crops with chemical that we don't know what the impact of it will be on young children. What quality of mind is that? What's the name for that? Is that kind? Is it greedy? Is it neglect? What is it? So to use the intellect and that's how they get to become good diagnosticians. Because they're constantly checking and analyzing. You wouldn't believe how many things you could think about. Do you know if you turn off the data on your phone and you open Google Maps, as you move along, Google knows where you are? No data? They know where you are, how? And they know your speed too, with no data. Well, now the young next generation, they have all the knowledge to answer that question. But they didn't think about it also. And if they think about it, then they don't put effort. But the more you analyze, well, how are they able to know my location without data? So you think and you find the answer. And then your knowledge becomes more bright. Think. Reflection is what is required. Right? Now, this becomes very relevant in spiritual life because all of us who have come here today, you value spirituality. You value satsang. You value what Hinduism can give you, on the one hand. But then you will also value all the other materialistic things on the other hand. So you more than others will have two different important things in your life that conflict like that. One mind says go satsang, and one mind says stay home and watch reels. And they don't know how to choose now. The only way out of that thing is clear thinking. Means to say, that person has to look at both of the goals that they have and figure out which one is the one that I really, really want. That's buddhi. Then he has to have dhriti, the ability to hold on to the one he wants and let the other one go. And people can do it. Anybody who has achieved anything has been able to do that. And people who haven't been able to do that, well, they just, 20 years you meet them, they're back in the same spot with the same, I'm still trying to get up early, I'm still trying to exercise, I'm still trying to learn Hindi, I've been trying for 20 years. Because they have this conflict. So Bhagavan is teaching us how to make our life explode into success. Through what? Buddhi and dhriti. You get the importance now of the topic? Right. In Ramayana, when Rama faces Ravana, Vibhishana looks at Rama barefoot with his bow and arrow, and he sees Ravana coming with his chariot that looks like a tank. You have to imagine like decked out with every possible missile. Like, you know, you've seen those Abrams tanks, I think they're called? Every possible kind of weapon on it, or an Apache helicopter with every type of weapon on it, right? Like that, here comes Ravana. And then standing in front of him, barefoot Ram with bow and arrow like Hawkeye. Right? So you have that huge ship coming from the Avengers, and you have Hawkeye with his barefoot and his bow and arrow. But this is Ram. And so Vibhishana looks at Ram and says, Ram, I love you, I know you're powerful, Sarva Shaktiman and all that. But he now has a doubt when he sees it. And Ram answers now to Vibhishana something called Vibhishana Gita. This is Bhagavad Gita, that's Vibhishana Gita. And he explains to him, don't mind, I ride on a different chariot, not this material chariot. My chariot is called Dharma. And I can't lose because of that. There's no other way to succeed. And in that he starts listing out qualities of the mind, which a person has. It doesn't matter what the numbers are on the other side. And the first thing he lists there is this same quality of perseverance. He says that the chariot of your life moves on the wheels of patience and fortitude. Dhiraja. I mean, he gives one other wheel, Sauraja, we'll leave that, but Dhiraja. That means to say, like this. If you're going to move ahead in life in anything, this quality of fortitude is required. Just like you need the right tires to go through the right terrain. If you have really muddy terrain, you can't use these tires you find on a Corolla. You need what they call swampers. These huge, like grabbing like tires. Huh? Otherwise you can't make it. And those tires can handle the rocks. They can handle the mud and all that. So your life will move forward on your consistency of purpose. That is dhiraj. Means you're going to get obstacle. One day your belly will hurt, one day the power will cut, one day somebody will insult, and life will throw obstacles. If you don't have consistency of purpose, you can't take all the things you want and move one step forward. You will just get stuck like somebody whose tire goes flat. That's how essential fortitude is. In old-time language, you say you have to make your back strong to handle life. You can't have sweet skin. You have to be strong. Otherwise, one little thing happens and you can't move. So you have to see fortitude is my tires. Huh? What happens when you get a flat tire? Well, that's it. Picnic finish. Got everything done. So fortitude is essential, and the more you have, the better you are. So Bhagavan now is going to list out the best type of intellect, the best type of fortitude. Mediocre, mediocre, worst to worst. And we're going to study and see his description. And he can describe this thing in one sentence. And it rhymes also. Not rhymes, it's in meter also. Amazing. Let us see. We'll chant a few together, right? All right, here we go. Now please chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Prakritim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhayavade.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Bandham moksham cha yavete, buddhi sa partha satviki.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Yaya dharma dharmam cha, yaya dharma dharmam cha, karyam cha karyameva cha.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ayathavat prajaniti, buddhi sa partha rajasi.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
So, here now, if you have your Bhagavad Gita in front of you, if you're following along online, we are in verse 30 now. Bhagavan says, if your intelligence can allow you to understand these four pairs, When you look at the word, you can look and see what is this, what is that. When should this happen, when should that happen? You can do that. But I tell you, your intellect is bright, it is sharp. It can't get sharper than that. They just make that really funny in cartoons, you know. When it's a blade really sharp, they say, that blade's so sharp, if you look, you get cut. And they say, no man, you look, oh wow, yeah, I get cut just from looking. That intellect sharp. What is it that you have to be able to know? When I should pravrittim, nivrittim. When I should work and when I should rest. When I should pursue, when I should withdraw. If you can know that thing, you're on the right track. Next thing also, karya akarya. You know what should be done, what ought to be done by you, and what ought not to be done. You know, sometimes it's very important to speak up, and other times it's important to stay. Our Pandit Krishnaji is a beautiful example of that. He was giving me a story that happened in town today itself, where he saw a man treating a woman not properly out in public. And he thought quick like Hanumanji, he knew exactly what to say, when, to the right person. If you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, cuffs start flying, isn't it? If you say nothing, then that is not right also. When I should act, when I should not act, what to do, what not to do, that kind of thing. Bhaya bhaye, bhaya abhaya, sorry. That person knows what you ought to be afraid of and what you ought not to be afraid of. A lot of people are afraid for no reason. Like, if you're doing the right thing, you should not be afraid. And if you're doing the wrong thing, you should be afraid. But people have it ulta. They're not frightened to break the speed limit. They're not frightened to talk behind people's back. They're not frightened to cheat. But to stand up and say, I don't think this thing ought to be like this, they're frightened. You see, they have it opposite. But this person, no, he knows very clearly. And the last one, this person knows what is bondage and what is freedom. Bandham and mukti, he knows clearly. When my life is taking me in that direction, when my life is taking me in this direction, right? So we have to see it a little bit and see at an ordinary level, you know. The way to practice this first one, to know when I should work, when I should rest, what I should do, what I should not do, is a very simple exercise. All the parents can do it with the children, right? You make a list of the things you can do. Well, I can sleep in, I can waste time, I can get up early, I can do my work first and play after. All the things you can do. Then beside that, you make the list of the things that you must do. Okay, I can waste time and I can use it properly, but which one must I do? Not try. There's no try. There's do or don't do, but there's no try. What I can do, what I must do. And you analyze like that. And that will make the intellect bright and sharp. Then many people don't know how to balance work and rest. Many people think it is better to rest at the beginning of a job. The intellect is telling them, better we rest now, we have plenty time. And then when it comes down to the deadline, well, now they have to, then they pray to Hanumanji, but Hanumanji, I need your strength, because I got to stay up all night. There's too much work and too less time. So they got it ulta. What is the right thing? At the beginning, you get right to it. What you can do today, you do now. And what you can do tomorrow, you do today. Have you not heard that? That is about moment to moment. But that also applies in the scheme of life. Like, how many years of life should be meant towards earning money? It's the same question, but now on a life scale. Like, at which point do you need to take a back seat from earning money and take up something else? And what is that else? At what age should somebody strive to be married? Should they get married when they're, like in today's age, when you're 12 years old and you're still in school? But at that age, they're already making boyfriend and girlfriend and all that kind of thing. And at the end also, our scriptures tell very clearly, at some point, every human being should shift the predominance of their life effort from working and earning for me and my family to working and earning for the community, and then finally for the world. You should move in that direction. At some point you have to draw a line and say, okay, after this, children, it's on you now. Life planning it is like that. One old man went to a party and he saw an old lady. And he said, man, I want to marry this old lady. A real old man, right? So he gets up all the courage and he go on and meet she and said, Miss, will you marry me? And she said, oh, I'm so happy you asked, definitely, and all that. And so he was so happy that she said yes. Well, he danced right out the door all the way home. Then when he get home and he's lying in his hammock, he's so happy and he realized, uh-oh, I forget to ask your name. I don't have your phone number. Nothing. I'm not sure who I asked also. You know, the memory starts to go. So he called the person who hosts the party, find her number, he called her the next day. And he said, Miss, I was the one who said, can you marry me? She said, oh, thank God you called, because I forget who asked me. And when you get old, it's a different story. That story goes on, you know, on their honeymoon now. He woke up in the morning and he saw she's brushing her teeth in the bathroom. So he said, dear, brush mine too now. Because it has take out the teeth at that age. That's not the age for that kind of thing. Yamraj is around the corner, but we don't think properly, right? Okay, like that. At what age should I do what? So that's an ordinary thing. What is my duty? What is not my duty? That also. There's a wonderful line in Balkand where Tulsidashi describes how Lord Rama and his brothers spent their youth. What was the pith and substance of their education? What he writes. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Vidya Vinaya Nipuna Guna Sila Khela hi khela sakala nripalila Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. How did Ram spend his childhood? What should youth be doing? Should they be doing tuitions every evening, going to school on Saturday and Sunday? Is that the proper way to live? What should you do? What should you not do? See, khel hi khel. Play, play, play. When you're young, you should play like anything. It's through play children learn. You might say, no, they don't learn. They learn when you put them in the classroom and you hold a stick in front of them and you say, learn this by heart. But I see every night we're going around Pandit Krishnaji and he's telling me so many stories and all that. He's such a also leader in the community. I'm learning so much from him. He was saying he noticed one boy, you can ask him, he can do anything. You walk in, he can set up the stand, he can set up the camera, he can set up the dolak, he knows how to pull out these things when he's setting up the harmony. Anything he can do it fast. A young boy. I mean, the way he described it seemed like the dolak bigger than he. A small boy. Now, how he learned to do that? You think somebody sits him down and say, now, today, lesson 1, how to open a harmonium? No. For that child, coming and helping is like play. I get to help the big people. I got to carry it today. Now they just give me the job. For them, that's fun, correct or not? So children learn through play. If you strip them of play, then they won't learn as much. And what did they play? They also play Nripalila. Can you imagine little Ram? And he's pretending he's king, and then Bharat, he pretends he's king. They whatever it is to be king and go out and fight and all that. They used to pretend to do that because that's what they see their father doing and all that. So that's proper for children to do that. Dress up as doctor, dress up as policeman, and play. But see the other side now. Vidya means knowledge. Vinaya, that means devotion and humility. Gunasila, that means good character. This was the constituents of their education. 3 pillars. Vidya means all what you learn in school. But that's one pillar. That's like putting a table with one leg. It's not going to take any weight. What were the other 2 pillars? They had to get every little good quality. Like, if a child's walking out the door to his car, and he sees on the ground somebody drop a little chip packet. What is the good? And you see that little boy, he pick it up, and he look for a garbage can. He can't find one, so he wrap it in a tissue and he put it in his pocket. If you see a little boy do that, what do you think? But he has a nice little quality. Somewhere somebody taught him, if something is in the wrong place, you pick it up and put it in the right place. You imagine what his room will look like, isn't it? He picked up that so every little good quality they have to learn and become a good person. And Vinaya, they must understand with humility what their purpose of life is. And remember God. All this is essential. Now you compare that, you think the government of Guyana can write a curriculum that includes this? Okay, let me see the swabhav of your child. Yes, your child like a pandit, your child like a police officer, your child going to be like a doctor. So let me make sure that their play is reflective of that. Then let me see, okay, does your child understand what is humility and where they fit in the world, and that all the gifts have come from the universe and they owe their life to the universe? So let that be one whole curriculum, and from grade 1 all the way up to grade 12 we would teach them in beginning all the way to advanced. You think they teach any of that? No. But this is what should be taught. So to know at each stage of life, this is what is to be accomplished, this is my place in the world, like that. To know that. Now, how will you know that if you don't come to satsang? That thing is to be learned from scriptures. So that's 2. What ought to be done, what ought not to be done. My duty, and now what to be afraid of and what not to be afraid of. Well, I mentioned that already. The ill fame that comes from doing the wrong thing, people are not afraid of. But in Bhagavad Gita itself, it says, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, that thing for somebody who has been honored in the past, ill fame and bad reputation is worse than death. You should be afraid of that. The consequences of doing the wrong thing. You ought to be afraid. But if you're doing the right thing, you ought never to be afraid. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Then, what comes next after that? The last one, I want to spend a little bit of time on this. What is bondage and what is freedom? The whole exercise of Sanatana Dharma, coming to the mandir, sitting and listening to satsang, doing havan, worshipping devas, devatas, devis, the purpose is what? The point is what? It is to remove sorrow, the bondage of sorrow. That's all Hinduism is about. Mukti, or freedom, from every point of view. And if a person says, well, I don't really need that, I'm good the way I am, maybe next life, that person just has to wait a little bit. Because life comes in ups and when it's in the down, that person's saying, no. You mean to say, scriptures? I went to middle school and high school, I stubbed my toe, I broke my heart, I got a job, I got fired, my house burned down, this happened, that happened, this friend passed away, this. Now I come down to the end, and I get this disease and that, and all of that. And you mean to say it all in vain? I have to come back and do it again? All that pain is in vain? Like it doesn't amount to anything? I don't grow, I don't change? That's bondage. I don't want to do, at least if I have to suffer, let me suffer in such a way I don't have to suffer again. Like that. See, now this is a very heavy topic. Bondage. moksha, frightening me here in satsang. But this can be taken in an ordinary way also. Please see this. What do we think is freedom? Look, Easter weekend, I just get home from school or work on Thursday night, Friday was holiday. Now, freedom means I have free time to do whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want. And if I have financial freedom, well, then I can go and buy whatever I want. And that is called freedom. That's what people say or not? That is actually not called freedom. You've just not thought about it. Scriptures say the right word for that is called licentiousness. Freedom to do what I want, when I want, where I want, how I want, with who I want, like that. Gandhiji tried to help the world and he explained, freedom really is voluntary self-control. That's how Gandhiji described freedom. What? That don't sound like freedom? Self-control? That's like a red rag to a bull for me. I don't like that. As soon as you say the first word self, I taken off before you can even finish the other word control. I don't like that phrase. Let's see. Which is more freedom? Freedom to exercise your own will over your own mind and your own senses, or not? I'll give you an example. In Toronto, where we were for so long, there was somebody, real story, who was allergic to gulab jamun. You know gulab jamun? Rasgulla, I think we call it in Guyana, no? No, in Guyana they call it maybe rasgulla. It's soaking nicely in that sweet syrup. What you call that? Gulab jamun? Okay, thank you. So that person is deathly allergic to something in that. When they eat that, the throat closes up and they can die. So they feel that that's a problem for them. So you know what they did? In Canada, you can call 911 and the ambulance will come within 5 minutes or less. Faster than pizza. In 5 minutes or less, the ambulance will be there. Right? So they call and say, you know, somebody's going into what you call that anaphylactic shock and the throat is closing up. At such and such address, you please come. Hang up the phone. Then they call their dad. Dad, I'll be in the hospital in 15 minutes. Meet me there. Hang up the phone. Then put on the bib nicely and eat 2-3 gulab jamun. And wait. As this get in there and I can't breathe, and they come and they punch you something and they go like that. Now you tell me, that person, because of the facilities around and the cost borne by all the taxpayers around, that person has freedom to eat whatever they want, whenever they want. But you think that's freedom? It means to say inside, there's something whipping that person. You better eat this, you can't be happy. You better go to the hospital, you'll never be happy. Licks from inside by his desire. He actually cannot say no to gulab jamun. He's a slave to that desire. Lashes from inside. He don't have freedom. You put gulab jamun in front of him and he will act like any animal. He don't have freedom to exercise his own will. No, I'm not going to have this. I won't have this. I'm going to use my time productively over there. He don't have that inner freedom. Gandhiji said if you don't have that inner freedom, you don't have any freedom. That thing is called license. And if you can choose on your own accord to do whatever you want for your own welfare, then you're free. And you know you can do that when you can look at something that is tempting but not good for you and say, nah, not today. That person is free. You can walk and go anywhere, you can't tempt him. You see the difference now? I hope you see the difference. So the person with a clear intellect knows this licentiousness leads to bondage, and this self-discipline leads to freedom. You're very clear about that, like that. But now let's see the passionate person. We chanted this. Well, if you compare the sattvic, noble thinker, and you say, what is the opposite? You get this. Second-rate intelligence. He confused. The operative word here is ayathavat. He can't see things yathavat, as they are. He sees them vaguely, He sees them in a confused way. Everything is gray for him. Should you or should you not tell the secret to your friend that your other friend just told you? And he made you swear. But this friend is telling you, I won't tell anybody, I won't tell any promise. And that's why we're friends now. So now he's confused now. Do I tell or do I not tell? Is that dharma or is it adharma? He can't decipher, right? And like that, all things he's confused about. If he does the right things, no, I promised him, I'm not going to tell. Then in his own mind, he's skeptical about his decision. Is it the right decision or wrong decision? Should I have told? Should I have found another way? He doubts himself all the time. Dhritarashtra is the character in scriptures. The blind king in Mahabharata. He is the character, he's the poster boy for this thing. He has a wonderful minister, his name is Vidur. And he's giving him wise counsel. And when he listens to Vidur, he's, yes, that is the right thing to do. He can't see for himself. Then his son Duryodhana, wicked Duryodhana, comes and gives him a whole sob story or whatever. And he says, oh yeah, Duryodhana, you're right. Now he can't tell who is good counsel. He don't know who's on the side of right. He don't know who's friend and who's trying to take advantage. He gets confused. This is all of us actually, right? So that's mediocre. See, you might say, how is this relevant to me? But this is the eternal problem for parents. Some parents say you should say yes all the time to the child. The other, no, you should say no all the time to the child. Leave the child alone now. Let them figure it out for themselves. Now, which one is right? How much TV is enough TV every day? Once a week? Once a day? As a reward in exchange for doing work? If you listen to the child, they'll tell you one thing. You listen to the previous generation, they'll tell you something else. Now I'm confused. Because I love my child. I don't want them to suffer. But then I see other children who get spoiled. I don't want them to become like that too. So I can't see clearly what I ought to do and not ought to do as a parent. What is for the best interest, I don't know. Like that. Is it more important for the child to learn Spanish or Hindi? This is one English-speaking country in South America. Everybody else speaking Spanish and Portuguese. But their mother tongue is Hindi and Sanskrit. If they don't learn that, they can't even open a scripture for themselves and know what it says. They'll open a model magazine in Spanish and be able to read that and be more comfortable with that than reading their own Bhagavad Gita. Because they don't know the language. Now and then I also don't know as a parent because the British removed it from me. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I spend my days? Should I not? I'm confused. That kind of buddhi is mediocre. Now you get an idea that we should always try to learn the principle from scriptures and think over the problem and come to the right decision and move up in our intellectual ability. But there's someone who's the last one is the best one. He's our friend. Tamasic. He not confused. He feel he know for sure what it is, but he wrong every time. He not confused. He knows, but whatever he knows is upside down. Adharmam dharmam mitya manyate tamasavrita.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sarvarthani
viparitascha buddhi sa tamasi.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
So that intelligence by which a person thinks dharma is adharma, the unrighteous thing is the righteous thing. That type of intelligence which is covered by ignorance, and he thinks in every field viparita, opposite. Sa partha, O Arjuna, tamasi. That buddhi is tamasi. And the scriptures point this out in so many ways. To think I am my body and there's no other part of me that's important. The changeless substratum which gives me my power and energy and life and existence, I don't know about that, I not that. That's not connected to me. That's totally opposite, because that is what you are, and this is an incidental equipment. The Rishis in Vedanta explain like that, right? You take it in normal language, it is when the adharmic things become the norm that you find this type of thing. Like, it is the norm for a kind of, I think, as a teenage boy in Guyana to start to curse. That's the cool norm thing. Because when I go for a walk, I hear young boys on a bicycle first thing in the morning, how they just talk. And everybody just talk like that, so that's the norm. I don't see anything wrong in it. It's the right thing to do, everybody doing it. But think a little bit with me about what is cursing, and suppose somebody says, don't curse anymore. Why? You say, why? What's wrong with that? What exactly is wrong with that? I don't mean anything bad by it, and I'm only talking to my friends, and they like it. We know each other's language. What your problem is with that? So now if the adult says, well, that's not what we do in Hinduism, and God will not like it, you push that person away from Hinduism. That's cheap religion. That just means, I don't know the answer, I just don't want you to do it. We can't say that. You have to give a proper answer. The proper answer is like this. Look, if you study carefully, whenever anybody curses, it is always associated with a little anger or a little arrogance. They go together. That's the emotion behind. You study it carefully. A little arrogance and a little anger. Now, do you want to spend your life engendering first thing in the morning arrogance and anger? Already it is there, and you want to put a little ghee on that fire? Where you'll end up in life. And at the worst moment when things go really bad and you're standing in front of the audience and all that, then it'll come out. The effort in Sanatana Dharma is to slowly remove from the heart negative qualities, not to add them. So you please, one day in your life, you know, I will have to give this up. If I spend one lifetime engendering this, I will be born somewhere where everybody curses like that. It'll be so hard to remove later on. So it's your choice. Nobody forcing you. But know the consequences of the action. Anger and arrogance go inside. You leave the boy to do it and girl to do whatever they want then. But see, now you're answering based on scriptures. And actually, the boy and the girl, they don't want to do it, but they don't have a good answer for their friends. They don't have a good answer for their own mind, so they turn to you, whoever is studying scriptures, a panditji, they turn to you for the answer to tell their mind and also to tell their friend. You have to give an answer that they can use, like that. But this tamasic person gets it wrong. One man did so many mistakes every day. You hand him something, he drops it for the cup first thing in the morning. He making chai, he spilled the sugar first thing in the morning. And like that, whole day making mistake. So finally the mom asked, son, how do you manage to get so many things wrong every day? The boy thought. He said, Mom, it's because I get up early every day. I get up early, I have lots of time to do mistakes. That's how I manage to get it wrong every day. Like, you want to see tamasic buddhi? One teacher was trying to remove alcoholism from the community. So she brought a bottle of vodka into the classroom, a clear bottle of vodka. and a clear bottle of water into the classroom. And she took a little worm and she dropped it in the bottle of water. And she took a next worm and she dropped it in the bottle of vodka. And she said, everybody come look at this. And after a little while, the one in the vodka stopped moving and float in that. Like, you know when they rise, I think, when they float. And this other one's still wiggling just fine. He happy. And she says, you see the difference? You understand what I mean to say here today? So, smart Alec, Johnny at the back. She always like to check if he get a lesson, she know everybody get a lesson. Johnny, what you learn from this? Johnny says, Miss, if I have worms, I should drink vodka. He get the lesson opposite. He get it wrong. That's called tamasic buddhi, right? And that buddhi defends also. When it knows it's wrong, even if it knows it's wrong, it gets pride and it's stubborn. So it's mixed up and well set. Such a buddhi is concrete. Mixed up well and set very well. You can't do anything. Mandodari told Ravana, you better give back Sita, kidnapping is wrong. Vibhishana told Ravana. Hanumanji told Ravana. Ravana returned to Hanumanji, this monkey trying to be my guru or what? Insulting language. Hanumanji's Lord Shiva giving good upadesh to Ravana. And he said, well, you monkey can know better than me? Pride. You can't save that person, then he can't think for himself. Now, let us chant the next few verses. Let's see how much we can do. The next set of qualities is on Dhriti. Dhrityayaya dharayate mana pranindriya kriyaha.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Yogena vyavicarinya dhritya sapartha satvaki.
Shri
Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Yayatu dharma kamarthan dhritya dharayate Arjuna. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Prasangena phalakankshi dhriti sapata rajasi. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Yaya swapnam vaya shokam Pishadam madameva cha. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Navimunchati durmedha dhriti sapata tamasi.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Okay. Bhagavan now lists what is consistency of purpose. People hold on to their goal in life. The best type, mediocre type, and worst type. And the person who can hold their mind, their senses, means their organs of perception, their organs of action, means your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your skin. You can keep them because they want to run in their own direction. The body wants to lie down and don't want to sit up. The eyes want to scroll, right? The skin want to feel fan. And like that, if you could spend a whole half hour, 45 minutes making the room nice. Just to fit my organs of perception are satisfied. Now I'll study. Like that. But the person who can control the organs of perception, control the organs of action, control that mind. How? Yogina. That is the operative word. By what? By using their thinking and discriminative capacity we just talked about. By using that to control their senses. That person has what is called Sattvic Dhriti, the best type of fortitude. And there's another very important word that's given there, Avyabhicharinya. That should be also with an unwavering type of fortitude. It should be, means, sometimes we go on camps. Children go on camps, adults go on spiritual camps. And while you're there, you get up early in the morning. You meditate, you do yoga, that kind of thing, right? And then as soon as you get home, sleeping in again, barely come back out. Everything gone back to the way it was. Means I had the consistency of purpose when everybody was doing it with me, when the environment was conducive and all that. But if you tell my mind, okay, now do it the rest of your life now, my mind will say, nah. Are you joking? Live like this the rest of my life? Nah. I need a break. But you have to ask yourself, do you need a break from eating? No. Do you need a break from bathing? No. So why do you need a break from doing something good for your mind? You have to answer your mind that way. If every day you go and you bathe only from the neck down and you skip your head, what could happen? Everything from the neck down smelling sweet like baby powder and all that. But you never wash your head. So you only take care of part of your personality and you ignore the other part. What will happen? You will get sick and you will die if you never wash your face and brush your teeth and comb your hair and all that. You don't think about it, but all kind of disease and thing will happen. In the same way, if you only take care of your outer personality and you never take care of the mind, what will happen? It's also a part of your personality. The rest of your life, if you get some spiritual practice, you hold to it forever. That's why during the Janeo ceremony, they make the boy give up some fruit. Usually. Give up something. Like I gave up, I went into the kitchen and said, Mom, fast, I didn't know. Panditji said I have to give up something. Fast, give me some idea. And so they're all busy making parsad and they don't know what I talk, they're ignoring me. So I think now for myself, Rajasic thinking. Which fruit I eat the least? And it so happened there is a kiwi. You notice kiwi? There's a kiwi sitting on the table there. I go and say, Panditji, I've given up kiwi. Well, kiwi is the nicest fruit with no seed. They just put it on all the custard, they just put it on all the cake, and then all the ice, everything. I didn't think about it properly. But the point is, you give up something and you give it up for the rest of your life. I'm done with that. I'm moving up to something else. That is called dhriti. Little things. Some people every Thursday, no salt. For how long you go do that, Aji? Forever. What do you mean? That's how I live. Every day I go to the mandir at this time. What? That's just how I live. Old people used to live like that. Means to say, if you want to engender sattva in your personality, you must take up something and do it in your mind. That's it now. I've reached this stage, I'm just going to do like this. It could be the smallest of things, but you take it up knowing that it will lift your personality. Like that. And you do it through your intellect. Now there's so much to be said on this thing, but that is the essential idea. What is there to be said about it? All the obstacles that come in the face of dhriti, how to think about them. So time needs to be, a whole yajna could be on that one topic. But in the end also, Bhagavan says, when you're meditating, shanaihi uparamet, buddhya dhriti grihiteya. The sannyasi also, he needs that quality of dhriti. The same one he's been practicing from his Janeo time. He'll use it in meditation to hold the mind in the direction of the reality. So it's a very essential practice for our whole journey also. But what is Rajasic Dhriti? Some people can't do it for any good reason. But if you tell them there's a carrot at the end of the stick, at the end of the tunnel there's a light, you'll get to stay in power. You'll get extra vacation. You'll upgrade your position in the company. Now they're ready to work and work hard. And that's actually how we motivate all the children with CXC and all that. We put a little carrot in front of them. You put one of all the children's face on a poster. And you expect all the other children to work like donkeys so their face can also be on the poster. Like that. So you're encouraging Rajasic Dhriti. Right? I'll get it. Me, not you. That kind of, not because it's good for me, but because I want to be recognized one day. That's called Rajasic Dhriti. So that Dhriti, which is characterized by extreme attachment and a strong desire to enjoy something for myself, is Rajasic. And you know what happens when you meet people with great Rajasic fortitude. You like when you meet them? When you meet that political person, I'm not talking about Guyana, anywhere in the world, that political person, and they're not in power, and they'll wait 5 years and 2 terms, 3 terms, plotting, waiting. Every villain in every movie has this. Why are you fighting? Because I lost something. My whole life is about revenge. Until I take down Superman, I will not be happy. Until I take down Spider-Man, I will not, until I become king of the world, like that kind of thing. You want to engender that, then people won't be your friend. And you'll put an obstacle for mukti. If you say it in very simple, ordinary language, right? That's Rajasic Dhriti. The third-rate worst type is Tamasic. We love him. He's the last one. Let me see what he has going on, right? He also has an ability to hold on. But this Durmedha, this foolish person, Guyana has nice words. This person who head not make right. America has nice words. This airhead, Lord Krishna is saying, this stupidity fella, right? Durmatihi. Durmedha. This foolish fellow, he can't hold on to anything good. He can't hold on anything even to fulfill some ambition. What he hold on to? Swapna, sleep, bhaya, fear, shoka, grief, sorrow, vishad, depression, mada, pride. He can only hold on to those things. So he can hold also. Means to say, you when you meet, he's never awake. He's always looking for a way out. Or he's always daydreaming. He's not here with what's going on. He's dreaming about one day he'll get this, or he head in the clouds, or he's sleeping and he's dreaming. He's not in life. And he only likes that. If you say, forget about your dreams and do something now, he can't do that. And he cannot give up fear. If everything going right in life, Panditji, I have a problem. What's that? Or Swamiji, I have a problem. What's that? Everything going right. I'm worried now. Something could go wrong. So he can't give up fear. He hold into fear. That is his motivation, his security blanket, that kind of thing. Right? And pride also. That is the other extreme. And grief also. If you make a mistake, if someone dies in your life, well, we all join the club. Because if somebody had not died in your life, they will. Has anybody come out of this world alive? Nobody's come out alive. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to trivialize the grief. But 20 years later, you're grieving like it is day one? Think now, that person already has a new body. They're living their life. They're 20 years old maybe, they're driving in some nice car. You're next. Think about that. You're next in line. Think about your own journey. Let that person go now. No. It shouldn't have happened that way. So instead of thinking about something more productive, like the actual fact that I'm next in line, I hold on some past grief. And some people, it takes a lot of energy to do that. But that's what they hold on to. Such people are an obstacle to themselves. They bring the society down and themselves down. So if you find now we will all have a mix. The whole point is that we will all have a mix. And the journey of life, the game of life, the sport, is to say, okay, I have a good sattvic aspect here, but I just hold on when I make a mistake over there. So now I need to use my life experiences to some way bring this one up without this one going down. It's like a sport, a game. And it's a life game. How to make myself more sattvic. And like this, it continues. We have saw today intellectual sattva and the sattva of consistency of purpose. But tomorrow you will get to see, did you know there is sattvic happiness, rajasic happiness, and tamasic happiness? Did you know? There is first-rate happiness and worst-rate happiness. When I heard this for the first time, it shook my world. Well, if you want to get your world shaken, come to Virginujan tomorrow at 7 p.m. We'll have satsang on the next set of verses from Bhagavad Gita. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., Virginujan, right? After that, all different mandir every night on the West Coast. And from Tuesday, you'll get to meet our Puja Swami Prakashanandaji. He will be doing satsang from Tuesday next week. So also mark that on your calendar. The other date to mark, please, on your calendar is the last night, 108th night of consecutive Bhagavad Gita satsang. It is going to be a public event in a cricket ground in town. Big event, and we're inviting everybody. We're doing it for you, so you can come out and be part of this historic event. There will be, afterward, there will be bhojan, there will be gifts for every family. So please do come out on Saturday, May 3rd. So that's the first Saturday in May, just around the corner, at 5 p.m. in the evening at the Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground in town. And the program just goes to 5 p.m. is pravachan. So you come a bit early, 4:30, you get to hear the bhajans, you get a good park, right? And that kind of thing. So come for 4:30 and the program goes to 6:30 sharp. It won't go later than that. Then there will be bhojan and you can make it back in time. You'll be home by this time. And you would have been part of something so grand. The last night of 108 nights Bhagavad Gita. So please come out for that. Saturday, May 3rd, 5 p.m. Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground. Chinmaya Mission is doing this type of work now all over Guyana. I live in Guyana, Arjuna ji lives in Guyana, Brahmachari Dujot lives in Guyana. So you will find online all types of classes for all types of ages. If you like this type of thing, please check it out. We are here also to teach. So if any mandir is interested in learning, we come and we teach freely like this, the scriptures. Like that, there is now going to be a 6-month online Pandits training course offered by Chinmaya Mission, free of cost. You can learn to chant all the mantras, Vedic mantras, stutis, stotrams, puja shlokas, all of that properly, authentically, and learn the steps. And there's an in-person component also, but that will just be 1 week. We are delivering this whole thing online to everybody across Guyana, but you have to be between 15 and 30 years old. And there are limited spots because of the online format. We can't teach 1,000 people online. We can only teach a certain number. So please check it out online if you're interested. It's just a form you fill out. But the big announcement is, in Chinmaya Mission, to do this type of teaching work, to take to a life of brahmacharya or sannyas, a person has to go through the Vedanta course. And that is an intensive 2-year in-person study at an ashram. You get up at 5:30 in the morning, you have classes on Sanskrit, all the scriptures, Sanatana Dharma, Puja, and it goes from 5:30 in the morning, classes go all day to 8, sometimes later at night, like this time, every day, for 2 years, no weekends, no holidays, no going home, no internet. It's just, you go and you absorb yourself in that study under a guru. That is a wonderful opportunity for someone who's interested in learning systematically our Sanatana Dharma, or afterwards being able to teach also. So if you're interested in that type of thing, or you know someone who might be interested in that type of thing, please do tell them. This type of opportunity only used to be available in India. And there are so many people from West Indies who have gone to study. But they had to do that big journey, and now it is available in Trinidad. This course will be happening in Trinidad in October this year. It starts. So please, that's just around the corner for people to organize themselves. But there are some prerequisites. Not anybody can go. They have to be 30 and under, unmarried, and have a university degree. If you meet those criteria, you know someone, please do send the information out. If you want the poster, it's online. On our Facebook, you'll find it. It's called Vedanta Course. Right. Now, I'm happy I can also tell you about Dosa Day. Dosa is an Indian delicious delicacy. It's like a pancake. It is made of rice and urad dal. It is crispy and savory, and it is filled with your choice of like paneer or aloo or pizza flavoring. So this dosa is taken the world by storm. In India, millions and millions and millions, hundreds, maybe you want to, tens of millions of dosa eaten every day. Across the world, if you add it up, hundreds of millions every day. I heard in Switzerland they're serving it also, because everybody loves it. So it has come to Guyana now, and Swami Prakashanandaji himself will be making dosa for everybody as a fundraiser. So on the Sunday, May 4th, if you want to come try what is dosa, come out to the ashram. It's in Monrepo on the East Coast, and have a dosa. You can see the flyer on Facebook also. You can pre-order, so when you come, you don't have to wait. Come try a paneer dosa or an aloo dosa and see what the world is talking about. So that's dosa day also. Chinmay Mission has, last announcement, 3-week summer camp in Bhagavad Gita at the ashram on East Coast and Monrepo. And if you have anybody on that side, or you have children in this area and you want to send them for those 3 weeks in July 14 to the end of the month, please speak to us. We can arrange transport. What we learned here today, they will learn through fun and games. So that is a great opportunity. This is the 3rd annual summer camp we're having, backed by popular demand. All right. So those are the announcements. Thank you so much for listening so attentively. At the back, I think there will be books also for sale. Please check it out. Books on different scriptures, books for children, teenagers, and adults. All different types. Little books that you could read tonight, and some you could study for a lifetime. All right. We will now have Aarti, and then any closing comments from the Mandir, announcements going on, that type of thing.
जय भगवद गीते मय जय भगवद गीते हरिः कमल विहारिणि हरिः कमल विहारिणि सुंदर सुपुनीते ओम जय भगवद गीते शक्ति हरामय कामा शक्ति हरा तत्त्वज्ञान विकाशिनी ब्रह्म विद्या ब्रह्म परा ओम जय भगवद गीते निश्चल भक्ति विदायिनी निर्मल मलहारी शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी सब विधि सुखकारी ओम जय भगवद गीते राग द्वेष विदारिणी कारिणी सदा शरणर भव भयहारिणी तारिणी परमानंद प्रदा आसुर भाव विनाशिनी नाशिनी तमरजनी सिखावनी हरि मुख की बानी
मया हरिमुख की बानी
सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी
सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी
श्रुतियों की रानी
ओम जय भगवत गीते
दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय
मैया मातु कृपा की जय
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
हरि पद प्रेम दान कर
अपनों कर ली जय
ओम जय भगवत गीते जय भगवत गीते मैया जय भगवत गीते हरि कमल विहारिणी हरि कमल विहारिणी सुंदर सुपुनीते
ओम जय भगवती दे ओम जय भगवती दे
ओम जय भगवत गीते
जगदीश हरे at your place.
Huh? You want to do another aarti? Jai Jagadisha Hare.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट जन में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट जन में दूर करे
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
जो भावे पल पावे दुख बिन से मन का स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे
सुख संपत्ति आवे
कष्ट नीते तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे
भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट जन में दूर करे
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण कहो मैं जिसकी स्वामी शरण कहो मैं जिसकी
बिना और न दूजा
तुम बिना और न दूजा आश करो जिसकी
ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संगत दास जनों के संगत जन में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
तुम पूरन परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर
परब्रह्म परमेश्वर
तुम सबके स्वामी
ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संगत दास जनों के संगत जन मेरूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadvajaha Mangalam Pundarikaksham Mangalayatano Harihi Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhushcha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Travinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki
जय
Shri Satya Sanatana Dharma ki
जय
Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki
जय
Har Har Nama Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev Om Tat Sat